Hi Gemini, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2022 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, hit the Celtic crossbread as always. And I also pulled a 4 Agreements, Wisdom, the Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have Aries, and Aries energy for you guys is 11th house energy of friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes. We just had a full moon there. And aside from that, we have Chiron, who's been there for quite some time. Jupiter in November is actually going to be out of Aries and back into Pisces, but it will be back in Aries eventually. We have Pluto. Pluto's been in Capricorn for a really long time, and that's actually, for you guys, that's your 8th house of death, intimacy, rebirth, investments, and let's see what else. We have 3. So 3rd house, that's communication. Gemini is the natural ruler of the 3rd house, but for you guys, 3rd house is Leo, and 3rd house in general relates to communication, short distance journeys, and siblings. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we could start with the main spread. The main situation position, we have the 8 of Swords, and challenging that, we have the 9 of Wands. So Gemini energy and Sagittarius energy. So at the very least, it shows opposition, right? But it could just be saying that the difficulty is maybe you had some issues around your relationships, whether it be a romantic partnership, just partnerships in general. And due to that, you might not know quite how to move forward around the situation. All right, in the foundation position, we have the 6 of Cups. So this is energy that usually points to extending an olive branch, reconciling. So for some of you, that could be what it is, right? Maybe the person that you've had difficulty with might come forward to you with a reconciliation offer. But usually with this card too, it makes me think that this is something that goes back a ways, right? It's not someone who you just got into an argument with last week. I feel like this is someone who you might have had a falling out with quite some time ago. And maybe that's why it's throwing you for a loop, right? So it's just one of those things where you might not have expected the person to come back around. But yeah, that's what I see with that. All right. In the past position, we have the 4 of Swords. So this is a Libra energy here. And to me, this says that you probably did go through a healing process around it, right? Even if it was just during that Mercury retrograde we had not too long ago that started in Libra. But yeah, to me, this shows that you've already gone through a healing process, right? And that could be what throws you for a loop with this coming back around, because you might have already made peace with it being over. All right, in the present position, we have the Hierophant. So this is Taurus energy here, and it could just be saying that when we have that eclipse, which will be around the 8th of November or 9th, depending on where you are, maybe that's going to give you some insight on how to handle the situation, right? Maybe there's other forces at play that brought the situation back around. For you guys, Taurus energy is 12th house, so that's what makes me think that could be one of those behind-the-scenes type things. All right, in the near future position, we have the 2 of Swords, so more Libra energy here. And for you guys, it is 5th house energy too, so it could just be one of those things where someone comes back around, right? It seems to throw you for a loop. You go through a little bit of processing around that, and now in the near future, you could just be at the point where you could be trying to make a decision around what to do, right? Do you want to revisit this issue with this person, or do you want to let it go? So that could be something that you're going to take a little bit of time to think over. And with the back turn to the water and the moon, both symbols of emotions too, you might just be trying to do it from a logical standpoint, right? Because you might feel like your decision making might not be the best with this person when you do involve emotions. All right, in the position of your influence in a situation, we have the 4 of Cups. So yeah, this could just be saying that maybe they have tried in the past, right? And maybe just haven't been satisfied with their offer to reconcile in the past. Or this could just be saying, quite frankly, that maybe you've separated from this person, but in the meantime, you might have been getting more offers coming your way, but they just haven't necessarily been what you're looking for either, right? So could be one of those situations. And for some of you, I do have to say this does seem like it's leaning a little bit more toward romantic connections, but it could also be financially related as well, because I'm seeing some indicators for that too. So same thing there, right? Maybe if there was a former employer who you might not have left things on the best terms with, and now maybe they might need your help again, so they could be coming back around trying to extend the olive branch in that way. All right, in the environment position, we have the Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy, and the Queen of Swords, Libra energy. So seeing these two cards in the environment could be saying to me that what might actually make you a little reluctant to deal with this person is they might come across, right, and say, like, all right, so the impression I'm getting in my mind is to be someone who said, hey, I know we had this falling out. Here's how we can fix it, right? They just jump right into it, not asking, how you felt about the situation, if you even want to fix things, right? So to them, it's almost like solving an equation of some kind, you know what I mean? So that might rub you the wrong way a little bit. Like, okay, well, that's great that you thought it all through, but, it probably would be better to have the input of the other person, right? So it could just be one of those things where their approach might actually be what turns you off from the situation a little bit. Obviously, that won't be the case for all of you, though. But if nothing else, this does say that the person is seeing that, yes, okay, this is the state of things now, right? We're going through a rough patch, and they're going to put in the effort to actually repair it. All right, hopes or fears position, we have the Two of Cups. So I'm going to assume this is probably a hope, right? It's not the most intense card as far as looking negative in any way, but yeah, it could just be saying that well, I can see this going a couple different ways. For some of you, could just be saying that you're just hoping for a fresh start altogether, right? Now, for others of you, could just be saying that deep down you would like to see a meeting of the minds, right? Really figuring things out and being able to move forward together with this person from the past. All right. And in the outcome position, we have the Lovers, which is the major arcana card for your sign. And we have the Five of Cups, Scorpio energy again. So I can see this playing out a couple of different ways too. One thing, if you remember, I mentioned with the Hierophant, I got the impression of things being worked out behind the scenes. With the artwork in this particular deck too, I get that same type of energy where we see looks like an angelic figure seemingly in the background, right? So it could just be one of those things where, like I said, maybe there's some reason why this is coming back around for you, this situation. And maybe there's been some things being worked out behind the scenes to bring the situation back around again for you. But it could just be saying that there might still be some reluctance on your part to see that and to accept it, right? Like you're still focusing on the spilled cups versus the two that are standing. For others of you, it could just be as simple as saying that things will be worked out behind the scenes too, move you past this Five of Cups phase. So I could really see that playing out either way. The main thing is seeing those twos there that make me think that for some of you really just might ideally just want to start fresh elsewhere, but for others of you would, with a little bit of work, be willing to revisit this situation. Like I said, it could just be more their approach than anything that might be what turns you off a little bit. All right, and bottom of the deck we have the Two of Wands, another indicator of fresh energy, right? Aries energy as well, which we did see come up in your dice as well. So yeah, could just be involving the groups you're dealing with. Like I said, whatever this is, I feel like whatever this falling out was, given that it was on the relationship axis there, it definitely seems like for a lot of you could be a relationship, one-to-one relationship. So could definitely be romantic, but maybe partnerships. But either way, seeing that in the foundation, the impression I got there was that this is something that's gone on for quite some time too. So it's probably someone you've known for quite some time, right? So maybe for some of you, you will be willing to revisit it just because you have those deep ties there. But that's what I see with that. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have Always Do Your Best, and it says Express Your Own Divinity. Okay, it says you don't need the acceptance of others. You don't need knowledge or great philosophical concepts. You have the right to be you, and you express your own divinity by being alive and by loving yourself and others. So, interesting message there. Hopefully that resonates with you. I'm trying to think of if this really fits that context in particular very well. The only thing that makes me think of that is maybe the Hierophant, right? Where maybe you've been trying to lean on what to do, like a more traditional way of looking at things could just be saying that you really need to tap in that regard. But I still feel the original thing's more likely, which, like I said, especially as we move up into that full moon eclipse in Taurus, you're probably going to get some sudden insights around how best to deal with the situation. All right, moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Truth to be Told. There's the artwork, and the number is 14. So another indicator that there could definitely be some communication around the situation to help improve things, but let's see what it says. All right, essential meanings. It says honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, clarity of communication. The oracle's message. There is the truth, which is the essence of a thing, and then there is a truth, subjective according to the philosophy of the adherent or believer. This is not a time for debate about which truth is truer. This is a time when you are called to proclaim your truth out loud and be willing to be transparent, honest, and open in your communication with others and with yourself. Nothing less than surrender to what is, peeling off the layers of denial that kept you tied to an illusion will set you free. Be authentic and gloriously flawed, and spirit will answer with miracles. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there, right? Could just be one of those things where, like I said, seeing that this was Gemini and Sag energy, which are opposites, could just be one of those things where the two of you just might have viewed the situation from opposite ends of the spectrum, and then it's just a matter of getting on the same page. And like I said, you just might be a little bit turned off where they might feel like, okay, they're going in with the default that their way is the better way. You know what I mean? So it could be one of those things. The relationship message says people tell you who they are very quickly if you're willing to listen to what they say and pay attention to how they behave. This card calls you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share with each other and tell the truth about who you are and what you need. No one can do that for you. Remember that your truth is always based on your personality and experience up to now. A higher truth to be found after you communicate honestly and see how doing so has helped you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. So yeah, again, another indicator, like I said, if this is a romantic connection dynamic too, definitely seems like you guys just need to, at the very least, talk things out. The prosperity message says, are you willing to do whatever it takes to experience the prosperous life you desire? If you want to be an artist, do you make your art a priority? If you want to be a healer, do you set time aside to learn new things to help you serve? A writer must write, and a singer must sing. Being true to your calling is essential to your moving forward. There is another oracle message here, too. It's time to have a look at the real, honest truth about your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about prosperity, about your relationship to money, to compensation, and to meaningful work. Ask yourself, what is true for me? And you will find the key to abundance. So yeah, a pretty positive message there as well. And lastly, we have Mudra for you guys. So this is your Mudra here. It's the Avahana Mudra, keyword connection. And alright, looks like we won't be able to fit everything in the frame, so hold it up for a second there if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. And then I'll move it up so we can get the rest of the frame. Okay, so under benefits, it says grounding and centering improves digestion and assimilation, strengthens devotion and connection with one's personal deity or principle of divinity, truth, etc. So if that sounds like Mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name of the description video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.